Audio in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, Degenerates, to episode 85. Ooh! Can you believe we're almost to 100? Like, it's, if you think 15 weeks will come and go, what's 15 weeks? 3 months? 4 months?
It's like 4.2 weeks per month.
Yeah, so it's like, I'd say by September-ish, October-ish, we'll have done 100 episodes. Jesus.
Yeah, provided we don't miss any.
Provided we don't miss any, provided the world doesn't end, provided...
But I mean, we're troopers. No, I mean, even if the world ends, we can still kind of
figure it out.
Those last few. Yeah, we'll do it in like a underground bunker.
Huh?
Well, we can record it underground. It's not going to go out to anyone.
Yeah, I was say, who's going to listen to it?
How is that really different than now?
It'll be a... Well, no, I told you before we started rolling that our YouTube subscribership has gone into double digits. I don't know, like, how Twitch works, and I wish I would pay more attention to the stats. I just, like, every now and again I get curious and I look at something like, oh, let's see.
This is art for art's sake, Mondo.
I wonder if we're ranked in the have we broken like 180 in Canada or something?
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Like 179.
In all my other creative endeavors, I've always wanted to have an audience. I mean, when I was making YouTube videos, as dumb as they were, I was still like, oh, how do I get more subscribers? How do I get more followers? This is the first one where maybe because I don't think I'm nearly as confident as a podcaster. It is a tricky art form where I'm like, well, I want to figure this out first. I want to get better. And obviously, I think we're both way better just on the mic and not sounding like complete dum-dums.
Yeah.
We're only like 98% dum-dums now. So we're trending in the right direction.
Yeah. As long as we improve every week a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, 1/10% every week. So by episode 500, we're going to be like seasoned pros. The whole point I was trying to say, though, is this is the one sort of, pardon me, creative endeavor where I haven't been trying to really, really like promote it hard. Like that's been like an afterthought for me. And maybe you're like, hey, maybe make it a forethought. To
promote it?
Yeah.
Look, if all I do is the Instagram and my Facebook, and that's kind of it. I don't tweet. I fucking hate Twitter. I don't do TikTok. I mean, I think if we were smart, we would do, like, if we really wanted to market ourselves, I think kids right now are TikTok. Like, TikTok is but I fucking can't stand it. I can't fucking stand TikTok.
Well, and that clearly is the perfect market for.
Can you imagine?
We want children 9 through 12.
Wait,
that is our market for
this.
This.
See if I can pull this off. What's that dance where they do this shit? Where the kids do the
flossing?
Yeah, that one. I don't think we could pull it off, but if we did that on TikTok, maybe we'd get like 1,000 more listeners.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Either that, or we're gonna end up on some watch lists. Maybe both. Because it's like, hey kids, look at our fun TikTok dance. Guess what? Now we're gonna talk about these degenerates in history and their weird sexual perversions.
We just gotta do stuff that attracts kids, and you know what else attracts kids? No, seriously, there's an age group, a target audience where if we get their attention, like, it just doubles, triples. You know what kids really enjoy though?
What, Mondo? What do kids really enjoy?
Kids like magic.
Oh, good Lord.
They do. We should do magic on TikTok. Like, oh, I know. I have an idea. We'll get a fleshlight and we'll make stuff disappear in it, and it'll kill two birds with one stone. It's magic. Kids enjoy magic. And number two, if it's our degenerates, no.
You know what? You keep workshopping that.
You know who was
You get the fleshlight, you work out some of those tricks, and then show it to no one.
We have a degenerate in history that did magic.
I'm aware.
His name was Aleister Crowley. I hope I pronounced that right.
He didn't do magic though. He was a magician. You're talking about, what's your card?
No, you don't know.
Rabbit out of the hat. Like this dude was a fucking warlock.
Maybe he started with a fleshlight and making things disappear in it.
That's how you enter into the occult. It's like step 1, fleshlight. Step 2, question mark. Step 3, summoning creatures from another universe.
Aleister Crowley, born 1875, died 1947, was an English occultist. Oh, by the way, this is Degenerates history. was an English occultist and writer who claimed to be a magician, not the stage tricks kind of magician, but the warlock, spells, and sorcery type.
Yeah, see, I told you.
Yeah, you read this, you fucker. An L. Ron Hubbard type before there was an L. Ron Hubbard, i.e. Scientology. Crowley also founded a religion in the early 20th century, Thelema, whose prophet he asserted himself to be, entrusted with guiding mankind to an aeon of Horus.
It's a religion based on Scooby-Doo.
That's Thelma, not Thelema.
Fuck.
Close.
Weren't there always like spells and warlocks and things in Scooby-Doo too? It could be connected. We can't rule that out.
Fundamental principle of Thelema was that the 20th century would usher in the Aeon of Horus, which would overthrow all existing codes of morality and ethics. In the New Age, people's true will, in quotations, which would discover via magic, would be all that matters. Jesus, I can't read.
I think this dude's talking about the internet. That's kind of what
right.
That's kind of what happened.
And Crowley summarized the Horus era's ethics as, "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law." Crowley's magic religion included lots of sex with his followers, which he termed sexual magic, whereby orgasms and bodily secretions were used as components of magic spells. Here's my jizz. Now disappear. The main precept of sexual magic was that all adherents should be completely open and uninhibited about sex without social limitations or restraints. Also, followers should expose their children to sex from infancy and accustom them to witness all kinds of sexual activity.
Speaking of TikTok, I'm really glad this guy did not have a TikTok. I've never been on TikTok, but like even on Instagram, there's now that Facebook took over, you'll get recommendations like, oh, you should look at this Instagram feed when you absolutely don't want to. And every so often they'll point you in the direction of something like, what the fuck, Instagram? Why is this on Instagram? How did this get through the filters? And I feel like old Alistair would have some depraved stuff to show us. So thank goodness this was not in the modern age of social media.
In 1920, Crowley and his followers
he already had followers.
established a religious commune in Sicily, the Abbey of Thelema, but it was not long before the perverse goings-on there led to controversies, scandals, and denunciations that became regular fodder for the British and Italian press. Responding to the outcry, the Italian government finally shut down the commune and evicted everybody in 1923. Crowley then hit the road and spent the remaining 2 decades of his life traveling between Britain, France, and Germany to promote his faith.
So why is it? It's funny. I feel like every one of these cults just has weird sex things going on. And then the religions that are like, no weird sex stuff. Then there's even weirder sex stuff going on in the background. Like religion just has a weird thing when it comes to sex. Are there any religions that just have like a healthy relationship with sex?
I think it's mostly like a power dynamic. At a certain point, and like whoever's in charge of the cult or religion, if you want to call it a religion, like they're like I have clear control over all these dumb broads. Let me take advantage. I mean, even like Manson was boning all of his followers. In modern day Christianity, Catholicism, you got a lot of perv fucking priests, and it's just the abuse of power.
Seems like almost all of them. I mean,
there's the yogi guy that was like Vikram. That's like now he's got like half a dozen or a dozen lawsuits against him about like people that are like he's like.
I listened to a podcast about that. That guy. He just gave no fucks. Like the audacity, because he just made the whole thing up. Like even his status as this like yogi. It was like he met a yogi once. He's like, no, I'm him. I'm basically a yogi now.
Yep.
God, yeah. There is just a
hey boo boo. Oh, wrong yogi.
That was a very special episode of Yogi and Boo Boo.
Yeah.
That did not clear the censors.
Well, anyway, that was it for Degenerates history. What's crazy?
Mondo,
He was an author.
didn't you have a religion that you invented?
No, did I?
I feel like you did, didn't you?
No.
It was like Mondoism or something.
Oh yeah. But I don't think I abused.
Well, you didn't have enough followers to abuse
yeah.
it, but I feel like you would have.
Well, I was one follower and I abused myself. But
Somehow we keep coming back to your fleshlight joke at the very beginning of the episode.
I don't use flashlight. I've never used a flashlight. I've never used props. I've never used like tools or toys or whatever. Moving on from Degenerates history, we're going to the what?
I just had a flashback.
A flashlight?
Both of those. Both. I had a flashback about a flashlight.
Oh.
So when I was, I'm trying to remember how old we were. Like so basically the one time I tried one was like not too long after we all went to Christian Bolliker's wedding. Completely unrelated. I just was like, for some reason I was like, I want to try a fleshlight. And then I fucking left it out where it was like visible. Or maybe it was, I can't remember. Maybe I even left it in the bathroom. I just left it somewhere in the apartment that it had no business being. And my roommate was like, "What the fuck is this?" And he thought it was the third roommate's. And I like just grabbed it and like threw it in a trash can. I was like, "Let's never speak of this again." And he's like, "All right, fine." And then like a few days later, he's like, "Dude, I can't believe fucking Dave left the fleshlight out." And I'm like, I'm having this moral dilemma. I'm like, oh no, I could just let Dave take the fall for this. No, I can't.
Are those things expensive?
They're not cheap. I think it was like $70 or something.
So you basically just threw $70 down the
I did.
trash can
out of sheer embarrassment. Cause like now I would just be like, "Oh, I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah, that's mine. I'm sorry. I will never leave it out again." But yeah, then when he was like, "I can't believe Dave did that. Like, I'm gonna have to talk to him about it." I'm like, "Oh fuck, god damn it!" Like, so I sort of came clean. It's not. There's all kinds of things involved in cleaning processes. You don't want to, but
it's not like women. Supposedly, there's like dildos that just throw in the dishwasher.
But yeah, there's a more complicated cleaning process when there's an orifice instead of. Anyhow, I had to say, I'm like, no, it wasn't Dave's, it was mine. And he's like, "Why did you get a fleshlight?" And I was a little proud of myself for like, okay, at least I admitted the truth. And then I don't know why I just instincted. I'm like, oh, I went to this wedding, and I got it at a bachelor party. And I at the time I'm like, that was such a weird lie. Why would I even lie about that? And I'm like, god damn it, I blame this all on Bolliker.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's just, I mean, was that a really believable lie that somehow I got it at a Christian Bolliker bachelor party?
Yeah.
100%.
He gives them out as party favors, you know?
But completely unnecessary and wrong. And I, you know what? I'm sorry I put that on you, Christian. That was wrong. And, you know what? I feel better for coming clean a second time. I'm just going to say coming clean one more time. There you go. Let's move on.
That was it for Degenerates history. Moving on to the world of Reddit. Ask Reddit question number 1. Sir, you're allowed one fictional item from any book or movie. What are you choosing?
I'm gonna go with the One Ring. I'm gonna become. I just want to become a Dark Lord.
You would be the bad guy?
Yeah.
You wouldn't be a good guy. You wouldn't be like Frodo, like throwing it down the volcano thing.
Why would I want a ring to destroy it?
Because you don't want anybody else to have it.
Right, but the thing doesn't exist in this world. So it's like I will this thing into existence just to destroy. No,
I never read Lord of the Rings, and I watched the movies, but I never really understood the full lore behind the ring. Like, as far as I know, you put the ring on and it makes you disappear. But what other things?
No, it's so complicated.
Oh.
It's so complicated. So I'm gonna probably butcher this a little bit.
Sure.
Because I mean, the lore, like, there's this huge tome of like all the history, like the backstory. Like, basically, the Lord of the Rings is just the byproduct of J.R.R. Tolkien getting so fucking into this world and like learning all that. And he's like, well, I guess I have to write a story to get people interested into this world I've created. but he knew every little twist and turn and like what characters' great grandfathers had done. But basically, there were all these rings of power. So I think there were three rings for the Elven Kings. There were 9 rings that were created for men, and they're all kind of bestowed power. And then
didn't the dwarves get some too?
Yeah, of course.
And the elves.
Yeah, well, that's what I started with. But the point is the races all have these rings of power. There was sort of supposed to be some semblance of balance, and the one ring is a ring that could control them all. It could it basically just gave you like ultimate power. It could kind of subvert.
Would you say it's like the Infinity Gauntlet with all the gemstones?
A little bit. But just to clear, so you remember there were the ring wraiths that were chasing it.
Mm-hmm.
There were 9 ring wraiths. Those were the men. So like he used their rings to turn them into the wraiths. Like he used that ring of power because it was able to take control of all the other rings. So that's why, like Galadriel, I don't know if you remember. You remember who the fuck played her? Kate something. She was the
one of the elves.
Yeah, she was like the elf in the forest who could kind of had visions and everything like that. Like she had a ring, but she had to keep it really hidden.
Mm-hmm. She didn't want to be controlled by the bad guy ring.
And yeah, I mean, so his ring sort of held dominion over all of them. But then when they destroyed it, I can't remember. I feel like anyone who's really into Lord of the Rings is listening to this explanation and being like, no, because actually, like, and because I'm sure I'm getting details wrong. It was Kate Blanchett played Galadriel, but I believe that like once he destroyed the One Ring, like all the other rings are destroyed as well.
So you're saying you would abuse it?
Yeah, I just want to become a Dark Lord. You know what?
What would you do?
I'm sick of waiting for the apocalypse. I'm gonna forget waiting for the apocalypse. I am the apocalypse.
So what would you do? Let's name one thing you would specifically do with the power, like the ultimate power of the ring.
Like I would start off as chaotic good, like I would use it. You know, I'd be punishing bad people.
Like people that didn't use their turn signals.
No, like worse than that.
Oh.
Like okay, so bad news, guys. Mondo and I tried to solve gun violence in the last episode. We didn't do it.
Nope.
But like, cause
I blame the listeners. I blame the listeners on us not solving gun violence. They need to spread the word about the Degenerates Clubhouse, and the more followers we have, the more. And then we start our own cult.
So just be clear in this scenario. Like I have committed to evil. You know, I'm not trying to actually be good. I've taken a dark turn. I've given up on hope, and I'm committed to bringing hell on earth.
Okay.
But like it starts off where it's like vaguely good, where like I like mind control someone into going on going on their own mass shooting spree, but it's at the NRA convention.
Oh.
So like all the like these NRA lobbyists just get gunned down, and at first people were like, "Oh, like, wow, okay, we don't like his mass murdering policy, but like we do feel like he's at least trying to effect change. Like that's good." And then it just gets progressively worse and darker until everyone's like, "Oh no."
So you're kind of like a Thanos character. You're kind of like you think about it. His end game was to like control population so that the resources be more bountiful for the people that are there.
Well, see, the difference is he. Okay, there's a couple things. Mm-hmm. So first of all, he thought he was doing good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think in this scenario, I don't think I'm doing good. 2, I'm not a fucking moron. Like the Thanos thing is just really ridiculous to me because I'm like, do you not understand how repopulation works?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just gonna be back right to where it was in like I don't know, like 100 years. Are you just gonna snap the whole population down to 50% every 100 years? Like I don't think he really thought that through.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of holes in his plan. I don't have a plan, Mondo. My plan is chaos and destruction. And like I said, it starts off vaguely positive, and then it just gets darker and darker until finally some shining hero rises and defeats me. And I'm like, you know what? I really brought nothing of value to the world. Now I'm dead. Perfect. mission accomplished.
Shout out to our brother, Greg Davison, who says, "Sup, bro?" on I don't know, either YouTube chat or Twitch chat. I don't know what he's chatting with us on one of the channels. So, sup, bro, in return. Fictional item that I would take from any book or movie. I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I don't have like two really good ones, but I used to think like if I had like Excalibur, like the sword, I could like rule a country and have like a round table, and like if Excalibur was real, that'd be kind of cool. That's one. The other one I actually got from the I don't know if it was in the book. It was definitely in the movie, but you know in Ready Player One, he gets like this a Rubik's Cube deal that like when he
I'll get you in a Rubik's Cube.
But listen, hold on. But this a Rubik's Cube has like a power thing where once the puzzle on the Rubik's Cube is solved, it like turns back time like a minute or a couple minutes or something like that. Like so you can like if
you just want the time turner from Harry Potter.
I guess
that was the most.
I never read Harry Potter.
Speaking of plot holes, spoiler alert: are you gonna read Harry Potter? Fuck it, whatever.
No.
There's in one of the books, they've got like the most OP item ever. It's a time turner where you can just like, and they give it to one of the characters so she can take multiple classes at the same time, and then they use it as like the ultimate MacGuffin to like solve the whole plot. But it's a thing that just allows them to go back in time, and it's like you have this insanely powerful. You could fix all the problems in all these stories with this one item.
Yeah. And
then they just use it to fix like the one small, relatively small issue going on in that particular book. And then it's just, they never talk about it again.
Yeah.
That was just one where it's like, speaking of, you know what? I want the time turner. I changed my thing. You know what? I was really settling into
turn back time.
Yeah, I was settling into becoming a Dark Lord, but now I'm just gonna be a time turner, and I'm just gonna place bets on UFC, and that's it.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! I would so abuse it for shit like that.
That's all I use it for.
Like little things that
like it's just the most mundane shit ever.
And you know what? I don't know if I would use it to become like stupid Jeff Bezos rich. I would want to be rich, but like under the radar rich, like where you have a fat house, like a stupid house, like if I had like a 7-bedroom, 3-bathroom house that like 5-car garage. I don't even have 5 cars, but I'm saying like I would do something like that in a nice area, and then I'd be.
I'm not even getting that. I'm just using it to place like very small $20 bets at the Black Hawk Casino.
Black Hawk.
I said Black Hawk Casino just so you could say Black Hawk.
Black Hawk. Let's see what the Redditors say.
Yeah, the most useless utilization of like a super powerful item. I'm like, I bet 14 black, $7. Congratulations, sir, you're a winner.
And your lunch is free that way. You know what I mean? User Redis Volt writes, assuming we get the required stuff to keep it working, a Star Trek replicator.
Ooh.
Need a dinner in 15 seconds? Done. Need 4 quarts of oil for my old ass car? Done.
Ooh.
Need basically anything that is smaller item? Done.
Replicators are pretty dope. I have a pseudo replicator in my novel, but I just call it a 3D printer.
Oh yeah.
But it's basically like a shittier, slower version of a Star Trek replicator. But that's the thing that is the thing that they in Star Trek. Did you watch Star Trek?
I think let's see, Star Trek, the Next Enterprise, there was a cut here and there, like not. I don't know. I saw the movies. I saw
the Enterprise was the ship. The Next Generation was was the series.
Okay, but
they never really addressed the fact that like you need. That was one of the things in my story is like you need like the raw materials to feed into the thing. In the Mondo, you know what? Let's just fuck all this. Let's just have a holodeck.
What's a holodeck?
The holodeck was the device in the Star Trek series that when they didn't really know what to do with like a story and they were tired of being constrained by being on a ship, they're just like, oh, we can do anything. So the idea was like you went into this room and it did holographic projections.
Yeah. They trained in there,
and it was just like cheesy as hell.
Yeah.
And there was one character who had like a holodeck addiction, and he like made all like the female crew members in love with him and stuff like that.
You know what's funny is, and we'll get to it when we talk about Binge and Purge, but in the Orville, the Orville clearly rips a lot of Star Trek stuff.
Yeah.
And in the Orville, there is something very similar to the holodeck that you're describing.
Does one of the characters have to come clean about their holodeck addiction?
Yes, in a very funny but fucked up way. I'm not gonna. You haven't seen the Orville, so I'm not gonna ruin anything of it. But let's just say there's a gay character in it, and he used the holodeck. Yeah.
You know, I feel like that's kind of an oxymoron, Mondo.
What?
Coming clean? It's never clean.
No. Let's see. User Dr. BRD. I think I've seen this guy's user before in a Reddit question. User Dr. BDR writes Bruce Wayne's bank account.
That's cheating. That's not an item.
What is it? Is it he just has like a lot of money, right?
He just wants to be rich.
Okay.
Okay.
User Cindergeist writes Philosopher's Stone, Immortality, and Unlimited Gold.
Yeah.
What's Philosopher's Stone?
He just explained what it does. It's a stone that gives you immortality.
Oh. All right. The last one I'll read. User I Like Furrit writes an elegant weapon for more civilized age, aka the lightsaber. Ooh, it would be kind of cool to have a lightsaber.
No, why?
It would be cool to have a lightsaber if you had the reflexes of a Jedi. You could just pew, 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 like bounce bullets off and shit. Anyway. That's enough for Reddit question number 1. Reddit question number 2. What's some tech, realistic or not, that you wish existed?
Oh, you chose... Fuck, I just realized I give you 2 very similar
Very
questions.
similar, yeah. Yeah. I'll go first. I wish there was like fully I know it's like it's coming. I think it's coming. But I wish there were like nanobots that could fix shit in your body, like for like a medical thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like nanobots, like I take a pill of nanobots and they go in and like they fix my tum issues. Maybe like, I don't know, clear out some of the fat cells and make me more lean and mean, you know? That's what I would do.
You want Tony Stark magic?
Sure. Well, yeah, he doesn't have...
It's basically magic.
Yeah, because you know that you're right. Because I remember like there's a one where he's like, I forget what he just presses on his like chest thing, and all of a sudden the armor grows on him.
It doesn't make any sense. I mean, because it's like either because like he's just walking around. So does that stuff not have mass? Like, isn't it really heavy, or is the suit that he's flying around in like super light?
I don't know.
It doesn't. Yeah, and Marvel's like, and don't think about it.
Yeah, don't think about it. Duh, you're ruining my immersion, bro.
I mean, we just touched on the holodeck. Should I say one that was like actually kind of realistic?
Sure.
I would like a really efficient carbon capture device.
I don't know what that is.
Are you familiar with carbon? It's an element.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we burn fossil fuels, we send when we burn fossil fuels, when cows fart a lot,
mm-hmm.
all those things, the carbon goes up in the atmosphere, and that is probably the main cause of global warming and climate change.
Oh, so you're trying to basically come up with a way to filter carbon emissions from the sky.
Well, it's not even filter, so I want to capture it.
Oh.
Like, I want something that's gonna, because here's the problem. Like, that shit's already up there. Like, we're not at we're past the point of like, oh, if we are really good and we recycle and we put the plastic in this bin and that, like all that, like even if right now our emissions drop to 0, right? Like we didn't use any fossil fuels, like everyone just immediately somehow got electric cars, everything, we'd still be a little bit fucked. We wouldn't be as fucked, but all the climate change stuff would still happen.
So isn't that kind of what the not the Princess Bride, the what's the name of the movie? God damn it. Spaceballs. Isn't that Spaceballs, that vacuum thing?
I don't even really remember that.
You remember that? In Spaceballs, there's like a giant
No.
thing that came in like sucked up all the oxygen from the air, but it was
I just remember them combing the desert with, with the giant comb.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Spaceballs in a while.
That's a great movie.
But yeah, at this point, it's like what we would need is something that could go up in the atmosphere and just pull out a bunch of the carbon.
What would you do with all the carbon? I imagine like carbon has like a buildup, so it becomes like a.
I don't know. That's a great question, Mondo. Maybe there's some way we could use it productively. I mean, it's like it's a molecule. I mean, there's some way we could use it. Or here's what I would do. I would just put all the carbon, like condense it, and then just shoot it out into space, and then it explodes when it hits some distant planet, and that's what starts the intergalactic war.
Ooh.
Because at the end of the day, I'm still trying to be the Dark Lord, guys. I haven't given up on being the Dark Lord. If I can't bring ruin to our planet through a magic ring, I want to just destroy the whole intergalactic space system, which is probably out there.
Right on.
So that's what I'm angling for. So like carbon capture, like, oh look, he's so good. We saved Earth. We're not gonna have these huge droughts and floods and all that, but then it actually just leads to the ruin of not just mankind, just life in the extended galaxy. Perfect.
Let's see what some of the users on Reddit said about that. User Whip It Good, spelled Guud, writes something which records your dreams. I don't know.
No, I don't think I want that.
Yeah, I don't think I want that either. Because then it'd be like, then somebody else can access my dreams and see like, oh, I know what this fucker's thinking. I don't want them to access my dreams.
I still don't know what anyone would. I've tried to explain to you what my dreams are like.
Yeah, they're kind of weird.
They make no sense. They're very.
I think mine are sometimes can be abstract-ish.
Extremely abstract. Like the spaces, the physical places don't make any sense. Like the transition from one place to another. It's the best way I could describe it is like an even more surreal David Lynch movie where you're just like, I'm in this room. Like now, how did I end up here? And there are things where I'm like, well, it was like a school cafeteria, but also kind of like a giant greenhouse, and it never makes any sense. Anyhow, I don't want people having to see that shit.
User Hulk Smash Hulk Regret writes a wearable solar panel that we can get body energy from, like wear the solar panel and feel 20 years old again. Oh, so like we draw on solar energy to power our body?
Yeah, I mean that's not how our bodies work.
Yeah,
but okay, sure, why not?
This is some tech, realistic or not. This doesn't mean it has to be something. Because think about it, all energy is never. What is it? Never destroyed. Only cannot be created or destroyed. What's the power?
No, you're gonna get there. Keep trying.
God damn it! Fuck you. So, anyways, you convert energy into.
Yeah, but that's not how our body processes.
Shut up! It's not. It doesn't have to be realistic.
I mean that's like.
Why gotta crush this guy's dreams?
Let's just plug ourselves into 9-volt batteries.
Hey, The Matrix is a movie, and we're basically giant batteries in that movie. Why gotta crush Hulk Smash Hulk Regret's dreams?
Right, but we're not getting powered up by batteries. We are the batteries.
But we're like our bodies are like a cell that store energy.
Yeah, but but
all right, next I'll read the last one. I'll read user Psycho Porno Pro Prognocore. I can't read your stupid fucking name. Something to capture smells the way a camera captures images.
Oh,
like if I'm making some biscuits and they smell really good, I can send the smell to someone so they can smell it too. That can be bad. That would be abused very bad.
I actually support this. This is just like the most harmless, innocuous technology that will be used for evil.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you never open one of these from your guy friends. Never.
I could see like a group. If this technology existed, I can see like a group text like with you and a bunch of your friends, and all it is you guys exchanging smells. Like, hey, I took a shit this morning. Smell this one, guys. It'd just be everybody sharing fart smells and fucked up.
No, I mean, what would happen that would be even worse is like your one of your buddies would like send you a picture like, oh, look at this McCrean barbecue. It's so good, and then you get a picture of this Korean barbecue, and then you get the smell file, and like you go to open it up, and it's actually just the urinal from, and you're like take this deep whiff. You think you're gonna smell these ribs, and you're like, oh no, it's urine and urinal cakes. Oh, you motherfucker.
Have you ever had durian?
No, what's
It's
that?
like a fruit. I know. Let's see. I think the Vietnamese eat this fucking fruit, and it's basically like this giant ass melon looking thing. And supposedly the fruit in it is like really good,
Uh-huh.
but it's like the fruit itself. Like once you open it up off of its shell or skin or whatever, like the fruit inside is the stinkiest, like smelliest feet cheese smelling, like funkiest. But like people love the fruit so much they're willing to like fuck it. I'll subject myself to this shitty smell just to eat this fucking delicious yummy fruit. I've never
I'm
had it.
sorry, Mon, is this a metaphor? I don't.
No. It's a real thing. I'm just like I've always wanted to try it, but I don't know if I'm ready to like smell it.
It's the tuna fruit.
Speaking of, actually, you know what's funny? Since our brother Greg is listening, he where did he go? I don't know where exactly. He was somewhere in Europe, and he brought back this fish this fish stuff. And it was like a bunch of lancers were hanging out in my backyard at my parents' house, and there's this fish stuff in that they sell in this tin, and I'm forgetting the name of it. But
Ooh, so he's a rebel. He's transporting fish through customs.
no, it was like it's a canned delicacy.
Yeah, I still don't think you were supposed to do that.
I don't know. Maybe he wasn't, but he did. So if you're getting in trouble, Greg, is my
He's
bad.
a smuggler.
Anyway, he brought this stuff, and because he knows I'm an animal and he's also an animal, he's like, "Hey, Armando, we got to try this shit." There's a bunch of lancers. We were hanging out in the backyard, and you open this stuff up, and like just the opening of the tin part of the can, like it got like this big whiff of this. Everyone backed away. It was like it had this funk, this stink. Um, Still, Grego and I tried it. We ate it, and it wasn't bad. It was just like very. It was like fermented fish in salt, and so it was like uber salty. It was like too much salt. It was excessively salty fish. It didn't taste bad, but it had a fucked up funk, and yeah, a lot of guys didn't. A lot of the other lancers that were hanging out were like, "Oh yeah, I'll try it if you try it." No, y'all try it. All of them backed out when they saw me and Grego eating it, and they were like, "Yeah, just the smell alone got them all scared." That was it for Ask Reddit. Moving on to the wonderful world of binge and purge.
Wait, I just figured out what I was trying to say about the fruit.
Oh,
So, remember you said the fruit where it people eat it and it kind of has the smell, and it's like, but like the smell isn't actually really that bad, but the fruit is really self conscious about it, and so even though you're enjoying the fruit's like, oh no, like, and it just can't completely relax, and you're just like trying to reassure the fruit, and no, okay,
Jesus. Moving on to binge and purge. This week we're going to be talking about very briefly because there's only a couple episodes out. Disney slash Lucasfilm's Obi-Wan.
yeah. I think we could even just give a little bit of a rundown on the
Sure.
things that are coming out on streaming, and then maybe we could go more in depth. But we will start with Obi-Wan that came out on the 27th.
So it came out like Thursday or Friday. So for those of you that are like Star Wars aficionados, the Obi-Wan miniseries is supposed to take place. If you watch the chronologically the movies, there's episode 1, 2, 3 that came out in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
4, 5, 6 were the originals that came out in like the 70s or whatever. Anyway, so this Obi-Wan tale, this mini thing that timeline wise takes place after the third episode, in between 3 and 4, basically in between the remakes, the prequels of the Star Wars story, and before the original Star Wars movie that came out with that everyone knows and loves. So it follows Obi-Wan's kind of story of like what he did when he, like, after Order 66, where the Siths ordered like all the Jedis to be basically killed and like hunted. And so Obi-Wan, played by Ewan McGregor, goes into hiding, and that's kind of what this miniseries is trying to tell that story.
Yeah, and so what, I mean, And you do learn a lot more about Obi-Wan the character. So you learn that Jedi powers allow you to have perfect hair even when you're working in like a desert sweatshop.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
Uh-huh.
Did you know? Did that kind of put you off a little bit?
No.
He's like
no.
He's working.
He's just cutting meat. He's not like doing anything super physical.
But they're like in the desert. Everyone else around him looks just aggressively grimy and dirty, and he's just got like perfectly coiffed hair. Yes.
It's Ewan McGregor, dude. He's got to look good.
But I'm like, dude, if you're trying to lay low, don't use your force powers to have a good hair day. That's just very poor form.
Anyway, what else put you off about the? So there's only 2 episodes out so far. There's supposed to be 6, I think.
So I'd say overall I liked it. I was not trying to overanalyze this show too much. And yet I did. I failed, Mondo.
Mm-hmm.
I failed by overanalyzing it. There's a couple things that bothered me. So thing one that bothers me overall is that Obi-Wan is trying to hide Luke on what was it? Is it Tatooine, the desert planet?
I think so. So the 2 kids. So Padme Amidala gives birth to twins, and one's Leia and one's Luke. Leia goes one direction, raised by the politicians.
She
the Organa family.
She's a princess living in a palace. And
yeah.
Luke is living on the desert planet. Here's the thing that I still can't really comprehend, that they're like, we need to hide Luke from Darth Vader and the Sith. So to do this, we're going to have Luke go to Darth Vader's home planet and keep his surname.
Oh yeah, that's right, because his last name is still Skywalker. Yeah,
it's like the worst plan ever. Like, wouldn't that be one of the first places you'd? I don't know. But I was like, okay, I'm not going to think about that. I like the fact that the show has a lot of Star Warsy elements. There's fun creatures.
Mm-hmm.
He rides a giant horse anteater hybrid thing.
Yeah,
that's fun. Obi-Wan does as he's going to his day laboring job. There's a lot of Obi-Wan being like, oh, the Jedi are dead, forget about it, all that kind of stuff. And I really like, they have these Jedi hunters that they call the Inquisitors.
Yeah. That all happen to be former Padawans, like Jedi Padawan, like guys that were like little kids that were being trained to eventually become Jedis themselves. Someone got a hold of them. The bad guys got a hold of them and turned them into bad guy hunter or good guy hunters.
I mean, and are they essentially just Siths? Yeah,
kind of.
But they're a little. It's like a different flavor of Sith. They're definitely a little creepy.
Yeah,
I thought.
I thought they were cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed those. And the one of the parts in the second episode, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but they go to an actual city that's like a very sort of grimy Star Wars city, which I enjoyed.
There's an underworld. It's not clean. It's not pretty.
Yeah, we see a lot of desert, sort of barren planets and desert worlds and ice worlds and things like that. And then in the prequels, we saw these sort of glowing CGI cities. But I was like, let's see more of the grime and gook, and I enjoyed that. The one thing that I really, really did not like about this,
oh no,
and I think I'm gonna get over it hopefully, but I cannot stand the young Leia character.
I like the little fucking kid. Okay, most of the Disney Star Wars stuff to date has been, I think The Mandalorian was kind of cool. They didn't Disneyfy it too much. There was definitely some stuff in season 2 that was kind of like, oh, come on, guys, don't Disney it too much.
I'm worried about that, to be honest. Because the Mandalorian started off as just this like gritty like space western,
and then they introduced the Baby Yoda,
and then it just, but like at least the Baby Yoda was so cute. Like at least there was some redeeming quality. Yeah, like
he's a power.
To me, the young Leia character is just. They're like, yeah, we're going to make her precocious and she's a wild spirit. And it's like, motherfuckers, this is exactly what you did in the first prequel movie with young Anakin. And did you not learn anything from this?
Yeah.
It was not well received. People didn't like it. I mean, at least, okay.
Well, it makes the Anakin character sympathetic. Because you're like, oh, he used to be innocent, then he went on.
I guess, but it's like, at least this portrayal does fit more with the Leia that we have come to know in the original Star Wars trilogy. Whereas in I'm trying to remember the name of the Phantom Menace.
Mm-hmm.
It's like yes, like Darth Vader is this sort of creepy, mysterious villain, and it's this big reveal, and it's like now it's like you're
Darth Maul.
No, Darth Vader.
Darth Vader's not in the Phantom Menace.
Yes, he is. He's as Anakin.
Oh, so you mean Anakin? Because no, Darth Vader doesn't exist until after Episode 3.
Yeah, it's the same character. That's the whole point. Like, I feel like they kind of ruin. First of all, the young Anakin Skywalker. The only reason he wasn't completely detested was because Jar Jar Binks took some of the heat off of him. They're like he had like a more annoying, obnoxious character where people didn't completely focus on him, but he was not well received because what I'm saying is Darth Vader, the character, was a kind of this dark, mysterious character. And they're like, but look, guys, he was a cute, precocious little kid one time. It's like, guys, you know what? Sometimes you can just like the things you like, and you don't have to know where they came from.
Yeah.
And so I'm saying at least this Leia is more consistent. It's not like they're not like retroactively ruining the Leia character.
Yeah.
But
she was always kind of a little bit more rebellious, do her own shit. Like, I wouldn't say anti-establishment, but didn't really like to be in a position of power. She was just like, hey, just let me do my own fucking thing.
But I'm like, okay, now we're going on. Now Obi-Wan we're going on another we need to save Leia quest, which is exactly how New Hope started, if you recall.
Help me, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that was really good. Can we get one more? Can we get a second
Nope.
take on that?
That's it. One and done.
You should do voiceovers for young Leia. But now we're going on another save Leia quest. But she's even more annoying than she was in New Hope. And if they could have just made her like 30% less cutesy, I would have been on board with it. But they're 100%. They're like, okay, we have to put all of our Disney Plus energy into this one character, and it's like, look, kids, like it's a fun kid character, and even though we've set them in this dangerous, gritty planet with an underground drug trade and danger at every corner, she's like Dora exploring her way through it. And I was not on board for that part.
The way I would describe it is there's like a scale of like gritty Star Wars stuff, and then the opposite end, which would be like complete Mickey Mouse Disney magic bullshit. Like yeah, everyone's laughing. Jar Jar Binks, okay. I think the Leia character, little girl character, is like on a scale of 0 to 10 would be like on a 7. So it's not all the way annoying, like Disneyfied. It's like, yes, she is, and she's got her little robot fucking thing that can fly and talk to her and shit, but it's not all the way annoying like Jar Jar Binks annoying. You know what I mean? It's like
nothing. I mean, in the history of cinema, like, no character has been that annoying.
I liked her. This is to me, the Leia kid is an example of a decent example of like kind of sort of like the women's empowerment movement. Like, hey, we could have this woman character who can be strong in her own right.
But they also make her so fucking stupid. That's the thing. If she actually was very clever,
she is clever. She's a smart little girl.
Really dumb.
In the movie, in the show, she's
extremely dumb.
She's a smart little girl. Anyway,
no,
we have our different opinions.
No, she's not.
Watch the show.
But just for me, let me just pull this whole full circle. There are a lot of very tried and true Star Wars elements that they put into the show. Some of it, to a certain extent, as I've already mentioned, feels like a bit of a rehash where they're just reusing old tropes. But you know what? I think for the most part, they do it pretty well. I'm there for it. I wish the writing could be a little bit better. I wish the Leia character could still be, like I said, 30% less cutesy. But all that said, if you like Star Wars, it definitely hits some of those notes really well. And as someone who's not a huge Star Wars fan, I'm still 100%. Like, I'm actually really looking forward to the third episode.
Yeah.
Like, I liked it enough where I'm like, where are they going to go with this?
Yeah.
How can it get better? And like I said, I hope they just make the Leia character a little bit less cutesy. And for Star Wars, I think they actually did a really good job of having relatively few cringy lines of dialogue. Because this is one thing that I've been really aware of. The writing in the original Star Wars trilogy was not very good. The actors just pulled it off. Like, some of those lines, if anyone besides Harrison Ford said them, you'd be like, what the fuck is this? But he was just able to deliver it in such a way where it felt fun and playful. And the only line that I was just like was a huge eye roll for me. There's one part where the Inquisitors were squabbling amongst themselves, and one of them goes, "You go too far," and the other one's like, "You don't go far enough."
Yeah,
I was like, Jesus, guys, come on. It was like the most unoriginal shit. Just something. Just try a little bit, writers. But I would still give this a strong 7 out of 10, and I'm looking forward to the third episode.
I can't recall what I gave The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett on a rating, but I think this one rates. I just really like the Mandalorian character because he's like this old school, solo gunfighter type of guy. I don't rate it as high as I don't rate it as high as Mandalorian, but I think I rate it higher than the Book of Boba Fett, and I liked the Book of Boba Fett too. A couple things that just of note. I was happy to see that they reprised Jimmy Smith's character as Organa, the politician guy. I always thought he's a good actor, and I'm glad that they brought him back. Also, I don't know if you caught this, but Flea is in it. Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. He's,
really?
you know how there's like 3 thugs that go and try to kidnap the little baby Leah. So he's like the main one, like the one that does most of the talking, like the kind of like the dickhead one. That's Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So I was like, oh, I saw him. I was like, that's fucking awesome.
I thought he was playing her little flying droid.
Also of note is Joel Edgerton, a great actor in his own right, plays Uncle Owen, who's babysitting Luke, right?
This is completely unrelated, but it just made me laugh because it would be hilarious to me if they had someone who really wanted to have a part, and then they're like, fine, you can do the voiceover for one of the droids. But you know what show actually did something like that, which was even funnier?
Mandalorian did that.
South Park. That's what I was going at.
Oh, where they use like a
Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
So this is like early on.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt, or it was either Brad Pitt or George Clooney. It was one of them. Was a huge fan of the show, and he's like wanted to be on, and they're like, fine, you can play Stan's gay dog.
Yeah.
So like he was just going rough.
Also of note, actors in this, I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't know he was in it. Kamal Nanjiani's in it. I was like, what the fuck?
He was excellent.
Yeah, he was great. I was like, he's in the fucking show. That's fucking cool.
And you know what? He that's a great point, Mono. When I was talking about how in the original trilogy they had some really cheesy lines, but they had actors that could pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
He had some lines that would have been clunkers, but his delivery was so good.
Yep.
I really hope he's a running character in the show because I thought he was great.
I'm looking at IMDb, and his character is in 5 episodes.
Nice.
So I think he's going to make the entire run of this series, or the mini-series, if you want to call it. Also, and we've yet to see these 2 characters make appearances, but apparently Hayden Christensen reprises his role as Darth Vader, and I haven't seen him yet. Maybe towards the last episode. A few seconds in episode 1 where they show like a Darth Vader in the water bubble thing. Also, last one I'll bring up, actor O'Shea Jackson Jr., basically i.e. Ice Cube Jr., Ice Cube's kid, who was in he's been in a couple other movies, but he was in the Straight Outta Compton remake where he played his dad. He played Ice Cube.
Mm-hmm.
So O'Shea Jackson Jr. comes out in this mini-series. I don't know. He's not in the first 2 episodes for sure, but he's apparently another big-name actor that makes his...
And you know, one thing I do enjoy that canonically, Star Wars is racially diverse. You know what I mean? There's some of these series that have come out that the fan base has gotten in an uproar because they're like, there's not supposed to be black people, and that's where I'm like, guy, just chill the fuck out. Like, if you're able to make the leap of faith that this giant fantasy world exists and there's magic and spells and shit, you know what? You can just mentally add black people. It's fine. It's not a big deal. But you know what? There always were in Star Wars.
Yeah.
It was always a pretty racially diverse world. So the fan base is fine with it.
I'm still waiting for there to be a Mexican Jedi or a Mexican anything in the Star Wars universe. Wouldn't it be cool? Can you imagine? Okay, let's just make believe land, right? Degenerates Clubhouse is a top 10 podcast in the the world, and we're sort of kind of influence. I would hate to be deemed an influencer, but we're a celebrity enough where they were like, hey, let's throw in the Degenerates Clubhouse guys in the Star Wars universe. Like, I would be a cool, like, because they did Mace Windu as a black Jedi. Why can't they have a Mexican Jedi?
I mean,
I'd be a cool Mexican Jedi.
I mean, Oscar Isaac is not Mexican, but he's South American.
No, I'm saying Mexican. You fuck. You could even use
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, I was gonna say Pedro Pascal, but he's not Mexican. He's like Latin. He's something else.
Diego Luna.
I don't know who that is.
He's a actor.
Yeah, but what does he do in Star Wars?
He's Cassian Andor.
Oh, he's in Rogue One. He's like the.
Is he Mexican? His name's Diego.
Luna could be I think I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he's Spanish and not Mexican.
Born, I don't know how you say that, Toluca, Mexico.
He doesn't count. I'm talking about a cool Mexican character.
By the way, they should have not changed his name at all. Diego Luna is such a great Star Wars name.
Yeah. It's
like they shouldn't even change his name. You're just Diego Luna.
Or a Mexican Chewbacca. Yo quiero Taco Bell. Anyway, that was enough for Obi-Wan the show. It's a good show. I enjoyed it. Let's talk about other shows that are coming up. Yeah.
Oh wait. You remember
or not?
Yeah. Hold on, just real quick. In the most recent trilogy, there was that character who has like the huge glasses and the really tiny eyes. She was CGI. She was Mexican.
What?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Lupita. I can't say her name.
Lupita Nyong'o.
Yeah.
She's black.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she's an African American. She's
my bad.
I think wasn't Jared Leto banging her for a while?
I do not know.
I think they were an item.
I just had a list of.
You saw Lupita, you assumed Mexican, you fuck. She's black.
No, because
African.
Because I googled Mexican actors in Star Wars and she came up. Oh wait, hold on. So first of all, she's born in Mexico.
Lupita Nyong'o?
Yeah, Mexico City, Mexico.
No.
So she's Kenyan Mexican.
Wow, wow, holy shit. I didn't know that.
So can she? I mean,
no,
she's culturally Mexican.
I want a dude with a fucking mustache like mine and like wearing a sombrero.
She's got a little bit of a mustache.
No, she's a model. She's fucking attractive as fuck, dude.
I know they gotta wax it.
Asshole.
Right.
Anyway, that was enough for Obi-Wan. Let's talk about some other upcoming shows that are soon to be streaming because there's a shitload of fucking cool shows.
Holy shit. That is hilarious that they made her like the most homely CGI character. I had no idea what that actress looked like. I'm like, oh, it's like a gorgeous black woman.
Yeah.
Like
I think she was like one of like there was a certain year where she was voted. There was a certain year where she was voted like the most beautiful woman or something. I forget.
And they're like, we shall put you as this tiny myopic CGI character. Cool.
Okay, let's talk about shows.
How much time do we have left?
We are 57-ish minutes in.
Do you want to just table that for another time?
Okay. On the next Degenerates Clubhouse episode 86, we will discuss, maybe, if we remember.
Unless we have something better to talk about.
We will talk about shows that are coming out here pretty soon. Just a really quick honorable mention because it's already out. And maybe we'll review it next week. Who knows? Stranger Things also came out, season 4. But there's also a bunch of other shit coming out.
Season 4, part 1.
Part 1, right. Because they're going to separate the entire season into a bunch of things. Anyway, we hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Right now is the Memorial Day weekend. Um, quick, I know it's not like a veterans holiday, but like for those of our friends and family veterans that lost, I guess brothers in arms, we'll be thinking about you guys. It's not Memorial Day is often used as an excuse to like party and barbecue and get fucked up, but it's supposed to be kind of a somber day of remembrance of the people that we lost in the military. So thank you guys for your service and all that shit. And hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll talk to you guys in a week. Bye bye.